A very good evening to you all and welcome to our second edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV this Tuesday, the 18th day of February 2025. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Senyobo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Kiijanangoma. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has received credentials from two newly appointed ambassadors at State House in Entebbe. The envoys included Her Excellency Fardousa Mohamed Kanyari, Somalia's new ambassador to Uganda, and His Excellency Paul Malong Akaro, the new ambassador of South Sudan to Uganda. During the meeting, President Museveni emphasized the importance of ideological clarity in addressing conflicts. He reiterated Uganda's welcoming stance towards African refugees, saying Uganda is a home to many. Ambassador Fardousa assured President Museveni that stability in Somalia is improving. She expressed gratitude for the warm welcome and reaffirmed her commitment to strengthening bilateral relations between Uganda and Somalia. Ambassador Akaro also provided an update on South Sudan's progress, stating that the country is experiencing a period of stability and working towards long-term peace. He confirmed that national elections, initially scheduled for December 2026, have been rescheduled to 2027 to allow for better preparations. President Museveni concluded the meeting by reaffirming Uganda's support for peace and cooperation in the region, encouraging both ambassadors to work towards a strengthening diplomatic and economic ties between their respective countries and Uganda. Now, the Orthodox Pope and Patriarch Theodoros II has arrived in Uganda for a 3-day visit. He was received by the Archbishop of the Orthodox Church in Uganda, Jeronimos Muzeyi, the Ambassador of Egypt to Uganda, bishops, members of parliament, and many other dignitaries. Now, after his arrival at the airport, he traveled to State House in Entebbe to engage with President Yoweri Museveni. Take a watch.
There was a grand welcome at Entebbe Airport as followers of the Orthodox Church gathered to receive Patriarch Theodoros II on his 3-day visit to the country. He was welcomed by the Archbishop of the Orthodox Church in Uganda, Jeronimos Muzeyi, the Ambassador of Egypt to Uganda, and many other followers. The Patriarch addressed the media in Greece, and his message was translated by Reverend Father Paul Mutasa. He expressed that Uganda holds a special place in his heart and that he is happy to be here.
And what the church does is for you, and it will be a very big work. And I want to say a very big thank you. If you had opened my heart, you can see the name Uganda on my heart. And thank you, my children.
The Patriarch expressed concern over the increasing insecurity in the Arab world and Africa and prayed to God for all wars to end.
In Ukraine, but even other countries in Africa here, like Congo. But we are a church of peace. And I have come here for and I'm coming from Egypt, where is the door.
The Archbishop of the Orthodox Church in Uganda, Jeronimos Muzeyi, commended President Museveni for the stability in the country and for his support of the Pope's visit.
I thank all the Ugandans, and especially our President, His Excellency, President Yoweri Museveni, for being there for us to see that we receive our Holy Father in this country.
The chairperson of the organizing committee and member of parliament for Remiyaga, Theodore Sechikubo, expressed that the Patriarch's visit brings hope to everyone.
Azze n'essuula ey'okukwata ku bulamu bw'abantu bonna naddala abo abanyigirizibwa, abato, azze okutuwa essuubi mu bulamu bwaffe.
We are happy and we are honored to receive him. I congratulate all the Orthodox Christians out there for receiving the Holy Father, our Patriarch, and I believe his coming to Uganda is one of the signs of peace and harmony, and for us to strengthen our faith in Jesus Christ.
Patriarch Theodoros II will spend 3 days in Uganda visiting areas such as Remiaga in Sembabule, Gulu and Jinja, where he will conclude his visit. I'm Navka Farid and Andrew Sebida.
Relatedly, his beatitude, Theodoros II, was this evening hosted by President Yoweri Museveni at State House Entebbe. During the discussions, President Museveni and Patriarch Theodoros II exchanged views on matters of faith, development and the role of the Church in promoting social transformation. The Patriarch commended Uganda for its religious tolerance and the government's support for various faith-based initiatives. To other news now, and in the wake of peaceful protests dubbed Free Besigye nationwide by opposition and activists demanding for the release of Colonel retired Dr. Kizza Besigye after the Supreme Court nullified his trial and others before the General Military Court-Martial as unconstitutional, President Yoweri Museveni has now responded to Dr. Besigye's continued incarceration in a two-paged letter. Let's have the details of the President's letter.
The Ugandans, especially the Bazukulu, I have seen the concern by some Ugandans regarding the remanding of Dr. Besigye for the very serious offences he is alleged to have been planning. If you want a stable country, the more correct question should be, naye Dr. Besigye bamukwatira ki? Why was Dr. Besigye arrested? The answer to that is a quick trial so that the facts come out. Otherwise, you are promoting insecurity, which is very dangerous for the country. Nobody in the world can easily give us lectures on reconciliation and forgiveness because that is part of our doctrine right from the 1960s. However, our strategy and doctrine are also based on accountability by the mistake makers, especially those who kill Ugandans. We are now able to remember Janan Luwum, Bendicto Chwanuka, Kingo Chemangos, Edward Mutesa, etc. Moving through a peaceful Uganda and traveling on good tarmac roads because the freedom fighters sacrificed themselves and defeated Idi Amin and all the other killers. We are not for vengeance, but the danger of the killers must be removed. Therefore, the correct answer in the matter of Dr. Besigye is a quick trial. Who slowed down the trial process? It is the courts that pointed out some gaps in the military courts and they ordered the transfer of the cases to the civilian courts. The concerned people are therefore working on two fronts: transfer the files to the civilian courts from the military courts, and the government and the legislators to close the gaps in the military courts. If you are innocent, why do you not demand for a quick trial so that you can prove your innocence and expose those who are persecuting you instead of demanding bail, forgiveness, as if serious crime is also entitled to holidays. On the issue of sickness, there is, first of all, a government hospital in the prison. Besides, Dr. Besigye's personal doctors have been visiting him and even taking him to private clinics. If there was need for any additional medical care, the government would be advised. However, in this case, Dr. Besigye was on hunger strike. That is part of the cause for his weakness that we could see in the pictures that were in the newspapers. Is that not unprincipled blackmail? How can you be accused of serious crimes and then your response is a hunger strike to generate sympathy for getting bail, etc.? Why don't you demand a quick trial? The military court was ready for the trial. Let us wait for the civilian court. Signed, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Meanwhile, Speaker of Parliament Anita Among has tasked government to explain why Dr. Kizza Besigye is still under detention. The House failed to agree with the response by government on how the situation was handled. Now, this was after the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, accused Besigye's legal team of prioritizing politics than following the right procedures. Minister Mao revealed that the process to transfer the files from the court-martial to the civilian courts is in advanced stages.
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, requested for an update to Parliament on the implementation of the Supreme Court ruling and steps taken to address the ailing health of Dr. Kizza Besigye.
What is the legal basis for the continued detention?
Anita Among challenged the continued detention of Dr. Kizza Besigye, rendering it as an injustice which may attract unpleasant situations.
Under what instrument does the Uganda Prison Service continue to hold Dr. Besigye?
Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, informed the House that the hunger strike was a measure of protest by Dr. Kizza Besigye, which contributed to his poor health.
And we admit that it is alarming.
After knowing that his condition, his situation is alarming, what advice have you given government to that effect?
Norbert Mao outlined the steps government has taken to implement the Supreme Court judgment. Mao accused the legal representatives of Dr. Kizza Besigye of politicizing the situation by delaying to extract the decree of the judgment.
But those who have chosen to politic rather than take responsibility for the fate of their client are now playing victim. That is unfair, Madam Speaker.
The Speaker found Minister Mao in violation of the rules.
We do not discuss about people who are not in the House. So what you have said about the lawyer, you should retract it. Because he's not in the House. I am the custodian of the law. Here, withdraw.
Madam Speaker, I respectfully withdraw.
Mao disclosed that the process of transferring files from the court-martial to the civilian courts is in its advanced stages. But some MPs challenged Minister Mao on the delay of the implementation of the Supreme Court judgment.
Court decisions by nature, especially at the level of Supreme Court, are self-executing. You don't need a decree.
We are not saying that Dr. Besigye is clean. He could be having a case to answer. He could be having a case to answer. But he should be taken to the proper court for him to be able to answer.
At this point, Minister Norbert Mao tried in vain to explain to the House the legality of the responsive actions of government.
Now, the Supreme Court did not order the release of anybody.
There's an order from Honorable.
We expect the Minister of Justice to behave what the Parliament expects him to behave, much as you are appointed by the President. But if you are also coming here to behave like the chairman of the court-martial, we are at pain.
The leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, disagrees with the statement of Minister Mao. on the mode of files transfer.
The Attorney General, whom you supervise, Chairman Mao, was the party to this matter. He is the one who appealed this matter. So for you to give an excuse, you see, we did not know what was happening. We were in our chambers waiting for these lawyers to come and serve us the extracted decree. Are you kidding me?
Minister of State for Internal Affairs, David Mohozi, called for harmony within the existing legal framework, but in vain.
I think we have about 3 matters to address. There is the health aspect of Dr. Besigye.
He stated that Besigye's continued detention is legal.
The doctor is still in custody according to the order that took him there.
The Speaker was forced to suspend the House for some minutes, identifying some key members to hold a separate meeting and build a consensus.
Madam Speaker, that by the time we reached the court, the lawyers of Colonel Kizza Besigye had actually been engaging with the judiciary. Not the lawyers I'm talking about, these are the better lawyers. And they had agreed to reschedule the matter, which had been fixed for Tuesday. It is now going to come tomorrow. And during that sitting tomorrow, the court will give the appropriate directions, and they will definitely abide by the decree. The court had insisted that they needed the decree in order not to appear to overrule the Supreme Court.
Daniel Mugoya, Farida Namfuka, UBC News.
Right Honorable Chair for
the Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honourable Robina Nabbanja, has promised the people of Kassanda that the NRM government will soon work on electricity problems that have remained unresolved for some time. The Prime Minister was speaking at the burial of Gladys Nanono at Kyakatebe village, Nalutuntu sub-county in Kassanda district.
Former Member of Parliament for Kassanda South, currently Commissioner of Uganda Human Rights Commission, Simeon Subuga, during the burial of Gladys Nanono at Kyakatebe village in Nalutuntu sub-county in Kassanda district, told the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabbanja, that since he was ejected by the voters, the government plans to extend electricity in some parts of the district, stalled.
Nakagenda kukyalo bakiyita mirembe chairman libolero lyava ne mama taakoma kupima kati emyaka 4 tebagalabanga tebayina abogerero okuleeta amasanyalaze okuleeta amazzi okuleeta enguudo okuleeta amalwaliro n'ebirala.
Prime Minister Robina Nabbanja responded by promising the people of Kassanda that the NRM government will solve the problem.
Temunafuna amasanyalaze nja kulagira bagaleeta naye waliwo programs za government ezibatuuseeko.
However, the residents informed the Prime Minister about their leaders who cannot forward their concerns to the central government.
N'ekizibu kye tulina nti tewali muntu n'omu atuusa bizibu byaffe mu central government. Bwe wali mu Kiganda, Honorable Kabuye Frank yajja ogenda ng'osimbula. Ye eriyawo mpya atwalawa. N'abagabe teyalabika. Kasirye Mula teyaliiwo. Eyo district y'e Kassanda. Kati ani kwaba agenda okutuusa ebintu byaffe mu parliament n'abimanya mu central government.
Bano bakama baffe abatukiikirira mu parliament n'abalala abamanyi kye bakola bw'aba tennaba kusalawo kyagenda kola asooka kudda mu baamutuma n'asooka abeebuuzako nti abange waliyo kino nkole ntya nsalewo ntya kitegeeza akomyewo okutegeera abantu abaamutuma kye bakola ki.
The Prime Minister directed the police to arrest PDM coordinators who allegedly swindled the money.
Kakati ndagidde ba chairperson ba SACCO abatoola ssente ku bantu ne babaweza ebitundutundu bazibaddize mbagirawo bawadde wikyemu. So make sure you get statements and I want a report. Mwena bebatoolako ssente zammwe mugende bwe baba abagezi bazibaddize mugende ku poliisi wano Kyakatebe muteekeyo statement.
Nabanja explains why the NRM cannot act like previous brutal regimes on the citizens of Uganda.
Government yamwe ya NRM singa yali eyagala okutta Besigye yali temutta baali bamutegerere gya bulidde. Fe Museveni owaffe tatta bantu akusinga n'okakasa nti yakusinze. Hands down. Mwali muliddeko nti muzeeyi atadde abantu kalabba kubanga aba ayagala kubakakasa ate abantu abamu kati singa yatta abamuvuganya maawu temumuwulira ti ye president wa DP ate kakati ali mu gavumenti ya Museveni kati singa yamutta.
She also promised to deliver 10 million shillings from President Yoweri Museveni.
Naye bwe mbadde nzija amazima twatalaŋŋanye so nesobola kufuna mabugo ga president naye njagaleeta kuba yaŋŋambye mbagambe miliyoni 10.
Jingo Francis reporting there. Now, the Minister for Health, Dr. Rotary, together with officials from the World Health Organization and other partners, has discharged over 8 Ebola survivors back into the community after they successfully completed the mandatory 21-day isolation period as required by World Health Organization guidelines. However, the minister emphasized that the fight against the deadly disease is not yet over. She urged the public to remain vigilant and report any suspected cases of Ebola to the authorities. We have more in this story.
I happen to be one of the primary contacts as the primary attending health officer to the deceased, where it's believed that I could have contacted. Not until close to 11 days. When I converted, of course, at some point, I felt life was going. But with faith and my supporting family, with the team around, whom I believed in so much, because that was the only option left, I happen to have been one of the survivors talking to you right now.
Over 8 patients who recovered from the Ebola Sudan virus disease have been discharged back into the community after completing 21 days of observation and treatment at Mulago National Referral Hospital and Bale Regional Hospital. Dr. Ruthy, the Minister for Health, confirmed that the Ebola Sudan virus disease is now under control with no further suspected cases and no positive cases in quarantine.
And Uganda Virus Research Institute Entebbe confirmed the presence of Sudan Ebola virus disease. This marks Uganda's 8th confirmed Ebola outbreak. As of 18th February 2025, 9 cases have been confirmed, including the deceased index case. The remaining 8 cases have all done well and are due for discharge today. 7 of them received treatment at Mulago National Referral Hospital Isolation Facility and 1 received treatment from Mbale Regional Hospital Isolation Facility. Furthermore, 265 contacts are under strict quarantine and monitoring at Kampala, Jinja, and Mbale quarantine facilities. None of these contacts have exhibited symptoms so far, though they will remain under quarantine for 21 days from the time of their contact or exposure to the index case. Today marks 20 days since the response to Ebola virus disease outbreak began.
With having in record time started the randomized trial for vaccination. A major factor in the success this far is the strong community engagement. The communities in this country have embraced public health measures. They've supported the contact tracing and work together to ensure care-seeking behaviors. This collaboration is essential to ending the outbreak and must be continued.
The survivors were presented with certificates and given commodities to help them reintegrate into their communities. The top management at the Ministry of Health also highlighted the final stage of the vaccine trial is underway, with 12 clusters identified and vaccinated. The teams that were of managing the disease were in a special way recognized for their tremendous efforts in containing the deadly outbreak. Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo.
Hey, Nkowe High School. Now wana tufunye wo muwanguzi owa MTN Momo. Ye wangu de school fees ezo mwaka mulamba tebereza. Hey, owulira otya mutima kati.
Banange sanyu byenye nali amochi wago nyanjaga nyangu amali wa ronze erinyo.
Eshishi?
Njani awangula school fees.
Eza Momo.
Eza Momo.
Ezo mwaka mulamba.
Mwaka mulamba ndi musanyu.
Oh my goodness.
Banange MTN mwene yanza ne yanze.
Wanje?
Mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala.
Nkubiriza muzadde munange yonna gy'oli. Wallahi satulia school fees for Momo Pay.
Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
Uganda, are you ready to kick things up to the next level? The Uganda National Lottery brings you Sports Stake 10. Predict the results of 10 football games and win big. With tickets at only 500 shillings, join the fun and make your predictions count with Sports Stake 10. Sports Stake 10, your ticket to football glory.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Agriculture is Uganda's economic backbone, employing about 70% of the working population and contributing 20% of the GDP. As the world becomes a digital global village, ICT has proven to increase productivity in the agricultural value chain. UKUSAF, through its Strategic Plan 3, recognizes the importance of access and usage of ICT-based tools, information and knowledge for farmers by providing them the needed skills to live, learn, work and participate in a digital society.
We came up with a project which we took to UKSAF, and we are happy that UKSAF supported it. That project is called ICT for Farmers. What did we get from ICT for Farmers? We managed to skill up to 100,000 farmers.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Now moving on, Turinda Sejirinya, widow of the late Honorable Mohamed Sejirinya, has announced her support for National Unity Platform NUP colleague and lawyer Arias Nalukola in the upcoming Kawempe North by-election. The announcement was made during a press conference held in Imbogo, Kawempe North, where some of Sejirinya's other widows were also present.
Naturinda stated that after realizing Narukola's vision aligned with hers, she decided to join forces with him to secure a victory in the by-election.
Take this opportunity to declare to the whole constituency that I stand before the elected member in the National Unity Platform.
The widows of the late MP also expressed their unity and support for the initiative, emphasizing the importance of continuing Segirinya's legacy.
With him everywhere he goes, so that we keep our unity. You all know that our late husband, Honorable Segirinya Muhammad, was a full member of the National Unity Platform. So in the respect of his unity and the party, we promise to work together with the party and the elected candidate.
In a symbolic gesture, Natrinda handed over manifesto books previously used by the late Segrinya during his tenure as MP. She affirmed that these documents contain strategies that should guide Nalukola's campaign. Receiving the manifesto, Nalukola praised the unity demonstrated by Natrinda and her colleagues, vowing to uphold Segrinya's vision.
I've witnessed this morning the entire team of the widows of late Honorable Segrinya Muhammad has joined us. Now they are in support of the official candidate of NUP. They are doing that in order not to contradict the legacy left behind by their late husband, Honorable Segrinya.
The supporters also reaffirmed their commitment to working together to win the trust of the people of Kawempe North.
That we are a very big team. As Kawempe North, we are a very big team, we are a united team, and we're a very solid team. We have come here today to present to you more forces that have joined us.
Furthermore, they condemned the recent arrest of the NUP leader of mobilization, calling for justice and fairness in the political space.
They abducted and all kidnapped by men who are handling guns, but who are not putting on official military or police uniforms. What was done is contrary to the law.
Robert Katamba and James Sekaja for UBC News.
State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, led a delegation to resolve a long-standing land border conflict between the people of Otuke and Abim districts. The minister held a meeting at the border of the two districts with government officials, security leaders, cultural representatives, and the affected residents.
In the heart of Lira city is Lira Regional Referral Hospital. It serves a population of over
Tensions on land border conflict has ensued between the people of Otuke and Abim districts, resulting into violent clashes. In Otuke district, Ogor sub-county, LC3 chairperson Jasper Okengo requested Minister Mayanja to demarcate the road boundary which historically belonged to Lango people. From Ogwete sub-county, the LC3 chairperson Okweda Peter warned of tensions in his area.
Honorable Minister, we will maintain our position as the leadership from Abim that some of the statements being made here become sensitive in the security circles.
Abim District LC5 chairperson Johnny De West Arico argued that the conflict was about individual land disputes.
The problem here is about land dispute between the people, which to me can be sorted out by the courts of law.
Itur, Tesho, Lano, Kirjomene, Oya Bizinia.
Otuke RDC George Abdul, who also doubles as the whip for RDCs and RCCs in Lango, condemned the incident and urged residents to avoid being manipulated by politicians encountering long-standing land conflicts, particularly along the Otuke-Abim district border.
And I realized that the biggest issue here is the dispute over land, who owns what, where, and who has been chased from where. Honorable Minister, you realize that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda fought so much to ensure that there is peace. That is why today he is speaking about wealth creation. But dispute over land is one of the biggest insecurity that we still have. Somebody who do not have land, even the richest person needs land.
The dispute started in 2013 and has displaced Lango residents from their ancestral land. Otuke East MP Julius Achon said the issue was not about boundaries but land grabbing. Recall that in 2018, the land was largely vacant, but new structures have since appeared, raising questions about land ownership. His counterpart from...
We met this morning at the district. The only thing we can meet to resolve this issue, to sit among ourselves, to tell the truth. There are people whose grandparents were buried that side because they ever seen the universe began. Their parents died and were buried there.
We must apologize. After apologizing, we must put ourselves together, our brothers, and solve this problem. Mama, no. We must solve this problem ourselves.
Minister Mayanja stressed peaceful coexistence and announced the formation of local committee supported by the State House Anti-Corruption Unit chaired by RDC George Abdul. He approved a boundary road project to physically separate the two districts.
Said you people, we have only poverty, ignorance, disease. These are the enemies we are fighting. Poverty, ignorance, and disease. Maybe all of them are here now. I don't know. Maybe this foot is in Otoke, and this foot is in Abim. So I stand here and talk to the Abims, and I go here and talk to Otoke. How? This is our problem. We are the people who know own this land.
Let's go to Lira now, where Lira Regional Referral Hospital is currently offering 25 specialized services to patients not only within the Lango sub-region but also from neighboring areas. The hospital administrator says this has significantly reduced referrals to the National Referral Hospital, ensuring that patients receive advanced medical care closer to home.
In the heart of Lira City is Lira Regional Referral Hospital. It serves a population of over 2 million people, handling more than 400 outpatient visits daily and numerous inpatient admissions. Among the specialized services offered are dialysis, ophthalmology, radiology, microbiology, histology, obstetrics and gynecology, ear, nose and throat treatment, orthopedic surgery, neurology, urology, and pediatric care.
So we may give and provide a good health care. So we are here, we are still waiting. So
we have more than 25 specialties, apart from the normal physician, surgery. Most of those specialties do exist.
Peter Okelo Dehe, the principal hospital administrator, says the availability of these specialized services has greatly reduced the burden on national referral facilities, as patients can now access advanced health care within the region.
Lira Regional Referral Hospital less refers patients out. That would be referring either to Mulago, to Heart Institute, maybe Cancer Institute, less. Because even in that area, like I will say, in a week, we may actually not even refer. In a month, you may find like about 10, 15 patients referred. And most of the patients are usually referred when the conditions are really not able to be managed.
The hospital's diagnostic capacity has improved with the establishment of a state-of-the-art Class C medical laboratory, offering advanced testing and quicker results, leading to timely interventions. At the groundbreaking ceremony of this facility last year, Health Minister Dr. Jane Acheng commended Lira Regional Referral Hospital for its strides in specialized healthcare services, emphasizing the government's commitment to strengthening regional hospitals.
I am sure that many of you are noticing that there is a lot of changes going on. So we want to thank the management for listening to what the center says and you implement it wholeheartedly.
Here now, we are able to do CBCs and culture samples to see what drug do you exactly does your disease respond to. So what does that translate to? You are given the right drug. But above all, it has also helped us to avoid misallocation of the monies for medicine.
We'll take yet another short break and return with the latest in business.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo.
Hey, Nkowe High School. Na wana tufunye wo muwanguzi wa MTN Momo. Ye wangu de school fees ezo mwaka mulamba tebereza. Hey, uwulote mutima kati.
Banange sanyu byenye nali amochi wago nyanjaga nyangu amali walonze erinyo.
Shishi?
Njani awangula school fees.
Eza Momo.
Eza Momo.
Ezo mwaka mulamba.
Mwaka mulamba de musanyu.
Oh my goodness.
Banange MTN mwenye yanza ne yanze.
Wanje?
Mwebale nnyo mwebali ddala.
Kubiriza muzadde munange yonna joli. Wallahi satulia school fees for Momo Pay.
Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered the draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Let's have the latest in business. The stakeholders in the energy sector have committed to work together to harness the potential of alternative dispute resolution, a mechanism that encourages the settlement of disputes without resorting to litigation. As Uganda's energy sector continues to grow, it faces numerous challenges that could hinder further development, as Engineer Irene Batebe, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, says.
The workshop converged members of the legal fraternity, members of the Electricity Disputes Tribunal, and energy sector players to discuss alternative dispute resolution in resolving industry disputes.
ADR has really worked for us in the Electricity Disputes Tribunal. For example, just in January we had 12 cases concluded through this method, so it really works. And these are big cases. These are cases that really could affect the litigants if they were to wait longer or to follow the formal procedure of hearing. So this is useful. It's the reason we picked a lot of interest and to bring on board all the stakeholders.
The future is ADR. Yet where we came from, we did ADR. Now what we are trying to do is to resuscitate ADR in Uganda, in Africa, so that we are not spending years on end in court case backlog, killing judges, with stress, and litigants coming out of court without satisfaction.
ADR is a popular method that includes mediation and arbitration instead of going to court.
ADR is very important because even as per now, even the cases that are already in court files, they can still return back to the community for mediation, for arbitration, so that they can reduce that backlog. And then two, the new cases can be or the new cases of conflict can be finished up from the community. And so the court cases will only be looking at these larger cases. So I said the ones that have really weighed in their offices.
As Uganda's power generation grows, so does the potential for disputes. Dennis Kagwa, the Human Resource Manager at the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, concurs with ADR's capacity to resolve disputes amicably, fast and affordably.
Together, we can explore new avenues for resolving disputes in a timely, cost-effective and efficient manner, providing the best remedies available to the litigants and citizens of our country, thus promoting a culture of collaboration and cooperation in the energy sector.
ADR has been embraced in many industries in Uganda, including consumer markets, energy, infrastructure, and financial institutions. Mary Namkose, Dennis Segoa, UBC News.
Now, Uganda's insurance industry has recorded moderate growth in business expansion, but still has a low penetration. Now, this is attributed to lack of trust and confidence in the insurance industry, resulting from non-settlement claims that constitute one of the biggest challenges of the industry. To mitigate the above lacuna, the Insurance Company of East Africa is running a campaign dubbed What's Your Plan? According to Daniel Cairo, the head of business development and marketing, the campaign targets to address customers' needs and craft wider holistic solutions that impact on every stage in a life journey.
Insurance is a good plan in health business and life because of its attributes in breaking barriers to restore losses. So, the Insurance Company of East Africa is building public trust under the What's Your Plan campaign. The head of business development and marketing, Daniel Cairo, says the initiative will empower individuals, families and businesses to control their finances.
That we want to meet the needs of our people. And that is why we came up with this campaign that we are calling What's Your Plan? We firmly believe that financial security is for everyone. No one wants to lose money. That is why we are rolling out our What's Your Plan brand campaign, an initiative designed to empower individuals, families, and businesses to take control of their financial future.
The Director of Planning, Market Research and Development at the Insurance Regulatory Authority, Protasio Sande, says FinScope survey on the uptake by the population puts 5.2% of adult Ugandans having at least an insurance cover, which is a small number.
The insurance industry has been growing year on year at a rate, at a two-digit figure for over a decade now, including the year which every other business was challenged, that is the COVID period. The insurance sector posted positive growth.
Statistics from the Insurance Regulatory Authority in Uganda shows that the insurance total gross written premium for the first half of 2024 registered a 12.65% increase compared to 2023.
The challenge is to get Ugandans to appreciate that insurance or having an insurance plan is the only sure way to a sustainable livelihood.
Reporting for ABC TV, Helen Barbara, Jizamba.
And that story brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Senyomo Yusuf, and I am Rukidi Kiijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
International Women's Day is celebrated annually on 8th March. It is a time to reflect on progress made, to call for change and to celebrate acts of courage and determination play by women. On Saturday, 8th March, Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate International Women's Day. The national celebrations will be held in Chankwanzi district under the theme Accelerate Action for Gender Equality. The President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will be the chief guest. Join us for the live broadcast to witness outstanding women receive medals in recognition of their achievements and contributions to the country. Happy Women's Day.
started 10 years ago, but during the COVID pandemic, it was stopped. And hence, this is the 8th five-a-side tournament that has been played by the different Rotary clubs, corporates, and Rotary clubs. Five-a-side is organized by the Rotary Club of Chiwatule. This tournament brings together over 48 Rotary clubs, and that's from the 2 districts. Now, from what we see in the background, these are the scores of the different clubs, corporates and Rotary clubs that have been able to play right now. We still have a few more matches to go, but it's one of those exciting times we have during the start of the year, because we get to see Rotarians from the different districts come and participate in football. Football puts so many people together, and I would like to thank the Rotary Club of Chiwatule for this very innovative idea of bringing Rotarians, Rotaractors, and corporates in one place, doing something that they really, really like.
Meanwhile, let's continue recognizing our corporate DJ. Let's continue recognizing our corporate partners, financial intelligence, ultimate security, ranchers finest, KCCA, ISBAT, national planning, Leshego, CIC insurance, Four Corners, DSTV, Prudential, UETCL, PKF, Pride Microfinance, Impact High, NCBA Bank, Unicav, Centenary Bank, Auditor General's Office, UAP Old Mutual, Africa Data Edge, Mayfair Insurance, and the rest that we shall be announcing. We want to continue announcing our, recognizing our corporate partners. Thank you very much for supporting us and for supporting Rotary 5-a-side.
Assemble so that the governance party may inspect and we get this underway.
9213 and 9214. Welcome, and today we will get a winner. Thank you.
Thank you, President. Good morning, all the winning teams. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, let's bring it home now.
Good morning, good morning. We welcome you all to this day as we start the 5-a-side football tournament. We'd like to congratulate all of you for making it today and look forward to welcoming the new winner. Official kickoff now. Governor Ann, kick.
Kampala Spring Breeze, you're on pitch 1 in the next game. Can we have you fully precise, please? Kampala Spring Breeze, you're on pitch 1 next game. Please precise.
So he is the Hope Creator President, and he has done an amazing year. Just 15 days ago, he was still called the President. But right now we call him Past President, and he has concluded a wonderful year.